Well, welcome everyone to Love Yourself Loudly. I am your host, Perry, and today is the day. So, I have three lovely guests here today. To my left, I have Miss Nadia. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know where I'm looking.
I don't know either, but we all good. And right across from me, I have two gentlemen. I have Michael. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm
How y'all
doing
doing
great.
today?
And I have Jerry. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here today. So today we are having some crazy topics, and we were talking off site about a lot of things. So I'm going to try to bring it up on site. So hopefully that we can discuss and hopefully other people could relate. And if you guys have anything to chime in, you're more than welcome. So guys, what you guys are going to be doing today after this podcast? Well, I got you guys off guard today. Let me sip on my water right quick.
This was crazy.
I'm gonna go home.
That's good.
Read a book,
Mhm.
make some music,
Mhm.
and behave myself.
Oh, so you do music?
Yeah.
Anybody else in here do music?
I do music.
So
Yeah, so after here, I'll be going back to the studio. I'm working on my album right now, Signals. I don't have a date yet, but it's coming out this summer. And I'm looking forward for everyone to hear it.
can't wait. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, we're twinning.
Yeah.
Music in the summer.
Two producers making music in the summer. Boy, I can't wait. I can't wait. So, Jerry, what do you do
You mean in general or after this?
in general?
Oh, well,
I'll ask you what you're going to do after
After
that,
this.
too. After this.
you don't have to. So I run a podcast. I'm a host of a podcast. We talk about men's mental health.
Okay.
My co-host is also my best friend. He's a therapist. And we just bring our vulnerable conversations out to the airways and let men know they can be soft and be open with other men and, you know, have a space where they can share their real raw feelings, especially when their women get on their nerves.
Oh.
I didn't mean to.
Oh.
Hey, I support it, bro.
That's not.
Oh,
Thank you,
that-
I wanted to ask. That's a
Thank
good-
you, Michael, for being the gentleman that you are. I didn't even respond to that.
He
'cause
did say I support
No,
the
I
message.
didn't. No, I didn't.
I need the Bernie Mac. Y'all see this American?
Oh, my goodness.
That's interesting, though, because, like, the other day I had someone tell me, like, another guy, he was like, bro, you shouldn't really tell your problems to women. Because, you know, kind of devalues you as a man. Like, just go to your boy. But then there's like this other stigma, like, you don't want to go talk to your boy about that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, about certain personal things, especially with women.
Yeah.
You kind of get like the, you know, the tighten up answer or just the.
Right. It's definitely mixed reviews. I think, like, there's points on both sides because even as I said in my comment, you see how the woman took it, right? So sometimes when we're just being our genuine self, the way that they decode what we're saying, it sounds offensive or it sounds like somehow it's an attack.
Right.
So then that makes us shut down as men and feel like, well, I can't even tell you how I'm really feeling because you think it's all about you.
Right.
You know, and then you go to your boy and you try to tell him like, yo, to be real, man, I can't even get it up sometimes. And you're like, nigga, what are you saying? You know what you saying? You're like, yeah, I'm just, you know, but and really you have to be smart. I don't want to say strategic, but you just have to be smart who you're talking to because some men haven't really developed that part of them where they can be empathetic and say, yo, I went through that too.
Right.
This is what I did.
Right.
So it's like, it is one of those things where you just have to take that risk and kind of figure out who I can talk to and who I can't. So I hope that answers your question because it's really not, I know sometimes we want one answer. There's not one answer. It's kind of like
Right.
a nuanced thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that a better answer, ladies? I know you.
I mean, Nadia, you want to chime in on that?
So quiet.
I mean, because you both said something kind of quickly. Like, you just got me off guard, and I'm just like, where did that just came?
That was so much to take in.
It's like, where did that came from?
That's
But
what she
okay.
said. I
So, since you stated that your homeboys, with women's, you can't tell them certain things because of whatever reaction that woman might bring out according to what you're bringing up as a topic. Well, it just depends on what kind of woman you bring into your life. You get what I'm saying? Because not every woman that in your life that will mistreat you in any type of way. The problem with you guys is that most men out there, they always get the wrong type of women, and then the stuff that they're looking for that woman is like she's not giving you that criteria, but you just like her because of whatever she brings to the table, if it's sex or if it's just her her maybe the way she looks, but you never really actually see her for who she is inside. Versus a woman may not have the look, but her personality is like the great personality who could sit down and have a conversation with you, but those are the one that you kind of shut down because you feel like, oh, I don't trust this person.
I actually prefer those type of women, honestly. I prefer like personality. Like I don't care how pretty you are. If you have like a bird brain, I can't have a conversation with you. I'm good.
But that's what you guys always say.
The attack, what you guys?
but that's what guys always say.
Some men.
Okay, some men.
Yeah, don't judge.
But majority, a lot of men that I see.
Majority, some men.
Anything you want to say? Help me here.
I just feel like just be yourself. I don't see the point of being like I can't tell a girl or a woman something because she's gonna throw it back in my face, and then I can't go tell my friends this. Like, and that shouldn't be your friend, and that shouldn't be your girl.
Right.
That's what you call a toxic relationship.
I guess for me personally, I've been in experiences plenty of times where like women would throw it back in my face. So it's kind of like, fuck that, I'm not doing that no more.
Vice versa. I've been in
situations where men are like, oh, I did this for you, and
I can see that.
You don't even want to.
Yeah.
You didn't want to set my how? Right. No, I don't. Sorry.
I agree. Yeah.
You didn't want to be there when I
right.
Don't. Just because you gave me money, you just what?
Don't take the money.
No, I won't. Ever again.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean like if
I mean, yeah, that is true.
Right.
I mean, like again, some women's, just like same thing applied to you, gentlemen, as some men's, and I get it.
Right.
But the problem is that we tend to attract the wrong people, and then the person that could be good right in front of you, we tend to brush that off because when you're so used to being in a toxic relationship, we don't know how to define ourselves what is good. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we don't know what. We always tend to think that we know what love stands for, but realistically, to me, love is just like a word, but we just don't know the connection. And we kind of tends to get confused by that. We always gravitate to the toxic people very easily. Like, we don't even know how we end up getting those, but we just, oh my God, I just love this person, or I just feel the connection, and then this person could be very toxic, and we just draw into that person, and the person could be so sweet, so nice, so caring, and we were like, oh my God, this person's too soft for me. I just need some excitement. I need somebody to give me drama. And it was just like, okay, what's the purpose of you being in a relationship? Right. So, and then now when we're stuck in that relationship, now we don't know how to get out of that relationship because now we're looking for a handout, or we're looking for someone to help us to get out of the situation. And then now when a good person comes along the way and then they already see you damaged, now they're gonna be like, well, I don't want to be in this relationship because you look like you're already messed up from head to toe. Like, what makes you think I want to bring you into my life when I'm already healed and I'm already in a great mindset and you're not healed? I'm not bringing that toxic into my life.
Right.
So those are the situation I notice people outside of the world that, when you're in a relationship, you could just look at a person, you could just tell if they're happy or not. And you be asking tons of questions like, why are you in it? And sometimes they can't even answer that own question why they're in it. It feels like it's complicated. Am I right or wrong?
No, you said a lot.
I know. I know. I said a lot.
I a couple things that you said that I wanted to point out is, it's all a risk. Love is a risk, right?
Okay.
And you're right. We haven't really been taught how to love or what love really is. A lot of it is trial and error. But when you said we attract the wrong person, is actually the right person for that moment. Because a lot of times when you say we get into that relationship and then we can't get out, the reason why we can't get out is because we don't feel like we deserve more. Is actually with us, right? Because
that's the manipulation.
You manipulated yourself by thinking this was your
I agree.
person.
I agree.
Also, we all have different attachment styles.
Word.
You know, that's not talked about enough.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
you know, that comes from growing up a certain way.
Yep.
So once you kind of understand that, it's easier to navigate, you know, in relationships.
For sure. And to that point, your attachment style is not something that, because I had a friend, she recently just got engaged, and she was like, I realized I have this anxious attachment style. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. She was like, oh, I want to fix it. And I was like, well, you don't necessarily have to fix it. You can understand it, right? So now that you understand it, when your man doesn't text you back in 30 seconds, you know he's not cheating on you because you realize, hey,
Right.
he's probably working or he's doing something else, right? So understanding attachment styles and understanding that you can have more than one, right? Like I have an anxious attachment style.
Me too. I'm
Yeah,
guilty,
right?
dog.
I'm guilty of that, but I also have a
I'm
secure attachment style,
Right.
right? So, and sometimes that could also give me the savior complex, right? So understanding that, now when I do meet a person that she looks good and all this other stuff, I also have to check myself and be like, okay, wait, what is her personality? You know, what is that connection? Can we have a deep conversation? You know, or is it just, I want to get my dick wet, right? So.
I like that. I have an anxious attachment style, but I also have a avoidant. It just depends on who the person is. Like,
Right, exactly. Different people bring out different parts
elements,
of it. Yeah, 100%. But that avoidant is scary, but
It is.
Message, I don't be in the same space. I ain't trying to.
Wow. Okay. So I'll take that, but I accept each and every one of your opinions. But you know, but I just feel like a lot of people, well, majority of the people that I encounter and these stories that I hear, is just like, okay, it's like sometimes you don't hear nothing great. You always hear the toxic. It's like they always gravitate to those, and I'll be like, darn. And then they get confused because they don't even know what love means. It's like sometimes I ask them, have you ever been in love? Because sometimes we always end up being in lust versus love. So I just want to know, since you guys been through a lot of experience, have you ever been in love?
You're a musician, so this is part of your life.
Yeah, I can say I have. Yeah, I can say I had both experiences. Yeah.
Okay. So will you ever let a woman come into your life again and cherish you as a person? Be like, all right, I'm gonna open my heart, because I know some men's, once they've been in love, they don't want to have that same feeling again, and they just shut that down. So no matter what woman that comes into your life, you just don't give that person the opportunity to.
No, they get their heart broke in 6th grade and then
They-
destroy every woman after that. Like,
No, that's definitely not me. I definitely try to give everyone a fair chance, but I also like. I work to the point where I'm kind of healed first before I even engage into anything like that. So.
how do you know if you're healed?
Thank you. That's the question I was gonna ask him.
Time, I guess.
Sometimes I think I'm healed.
But then you have your days, right?
No,
I feel like everyone still
I
has
feel like
their
I
days.
just like avoid things.
Right.
Like I feel like I'll isolate myself to a point where
Yeah.
I'm not experiencing anything, and I'm not having any triggers happen. So I'm just like, yeah, life is good. And then the moment I like engage in something, and I have that same type of response to
It's
something,
the boomerang effect.
or like
It's gonna
feeling,
come back later for you. You probably don't feel it in the
I'd be
moment.
like, I was
'cause you're
not
avoidant.
healed.
Exactly.
You don't feel it. You don't feel it now, but you don't feel it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are one of those things where,
Yeah.
that's just using your example is just like you haven't learned your lesson as of yet, right? Because you avoided the pain or whatever you don't want to deal with, it's gonna constantly replay over and over. So that's what we call like a negative feedback loop. So it's like you find yourself in the same situation, the same job, or the same dude over and over. Yeah,
Heavy on the job.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really tough, and you know, you made that comment about like, you know, guys get hurt in the 6th grade and then they shit on every. Yeah, it happens. You know, like it's tough because women are more emotionally selfish. I know that bothers y'all, but you guys are more emotionally selfish than we are. We're not cultured to be open. So then when we fall in love, or whatever version of love that is at that time, and then we get our heart broken, we all, fuck this shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The next
Isn't
one.
that more selfish though?
It is, but it's think about it. Because we feel like you were selfish, then it's another
It's a
negative.
little loop,
Yeah, it's another loop. So now we're just going through life, boomeranging back and forth, and it's like you have to be able to like he said, take that time to heal. You can heal from different situations, but I think healing is a forever journey, you know. So
I agree.
even though you get over it, you might be triggered by something else, and that's just more work you have to do.
Wow.
I
Okay,
agree. I'm not
Jerry.
healed.
I mean,
I'll never be healed. I don't never know what. I don't feel like there's like some plateau where I'm like, oh, I've healed from everything.
No, I don't
I
think
just
so.
take it every one day at a time.
Yeah, that's the best.
that is a work in progress. Yeah.
One day at a
That's
time.
way to do it. Keep working.
But I think when I know because people use that word healed, as you know, that definition. You can feel it. You can tell. I mean, you can. I mean, the reason why I say you can is just like you can look at yourself from the past and now. It's like, okay, I know I used to do this, but now I'm not doing that anymore. So that's like a check on one of your lists. You'd be like, yeah, okay, I did this. I'm working on it. Okay. Then now when people like, if you so used to, and I think to me, I feel like it's like what he said. It start off when you're young, when you haven't get the nourish that you need to get at home, and then you're trying to learn off the streets, or you're learning from different people, and then you're thinking these are the dynamics of being in love or being oh, this is like my safe spot, or whatever the case might be. And realistic is not. To me, I feel like you have to fix within you first, because once you let whatever the wounds that's inside of you out, then you're gonna start noticing, okay, I'm not gonna tolerate this. And you could actually hear it too when people is talking to you. You could be like, that doesn't sound right.
That's the thing though, right? Because I'll change up quick. I'll heal it up quick. I feel like I'm so introspective. Like the moment something happens that I know shouldn't have happened, I'm already like, how do we wire it so it never happens again? But then I feel like it could get extreme. Like how you guys get hurt in 6th grade and then ruin everybody's life. Like the moment something happens, I'm like, okay, that can't happen again. That means whoever that was, anybody that even is similar to that, you have to go.
Right.
You have to go. Even if you're not even like that. You could be the kindest person. You gotta go.
You got that wall up.
Yeah. But then I'll put it down. I'll be like, all right, cool. We're back again. We're here again. And I'll be like, oh, you didn't text me back? Okay, bye. Bye, you're blocked.
But those are avoidant traits, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I call red flag error.
Because what's happening, like you said it could be somebody similar. So just put me in perspective. If I was good to you, great to you, it's just the fear of me being too close to you is what pushes you away.
You can't do too much of that, man.
Yeah.
But she wants you to be vulnerable.
Right.
No,
Hey, Mom, you can't win. You can't
Be
win.
vulnerable. I won't reciprocate it. Though.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I expect that though, because I know.
Exactly.
I expect it though.
Yeah.
But it's not your fault.
But
I don't want you to
it's
think it's
kind
your
of
fault.
like, I feel like you might throw it back in my face.
No.
Or also just like, I don't feel like expressing myself. I
So
just-
where's the real connection?
The old
That's
me
the
probably
thing.
would have
That's why I
thrown
be
it back
getting
in
too
your face.
extreme. I gotta chill.
That's a good
But
admission.
now that I know like my knowledge of it now, I probably wouldn't. You know, and that's the thing. Like more people need to know about that. I feel like that's not talked about enough.
But you know what? To me, I feel like the reason why, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the reason why you're kind of acting like that, even though you're just saying from a relationship, but I think it started off from your dad. Like,
Maybe.
because
I don't know.
because I feel like if you didn't get the loving nurture from your father, even
Well,
though
no, wait. I got a good dad.
I know you could, but maybe it wasn't he could be a great father, but maybe he wasn't the certain things that you're looking for. Maybe he wasn't there to show you the information about what you need to look out for in a man. And so he could be a great father, like spoiling you, giving you stuff.
No, he's like the opposite. He's like the person that's telling me, don't watch out for this, don't do this. Like, he's like a pass down his wisdom type of guy. I didn't grow up in the same house with him though. Okay. I didn't grow up in the same area. I didn't grow up here. He lives here, so maybe.
My people's from the island, so you know we kind of. It's like a strict.
Well,
kind of Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very strict. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So it's kind of. And they don't do everything right from the beginning.
Yeah,
no.
All they do is feed you.
Right.
But, no, you got the food right.
Right.
I mean,
that's true.
Same. My people's Haitian, Haitian descent. So, my dad was a great dad, but he sucked at being emotional, like being there as far as like, I know what a man's man is. I know how to provide. He was always like,
a great
never
provider.
went without wanting anything. But when it came to how he loved my mom, I was like, nah, that's not.
Yeah.
Or how he loved us, that's not the model that I wanted for myself. And when I was married and I saw myself going that way, I was like, oh no, I can't do this. But that was my programming. So I don't really know what your relationship is with your dad. I don't want to sit here and like start breaking down. But
yeah, well that's how I feel like he's not like super emotional. I'm not either. Like I never was looking to him to be like, give me a hug. Like, actually, just kind of back up.
Right, but then that
so
to
I
her
don't
point,
know.
that adds to your avoidant behavior because now, if another man is trying to be close to you, you're like, yeah, I'll let you talk to me, but I'm not gonna talk back to you, right? And then that's where some men might feel like, oh, she gives me that masculine energy sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
So you see, that's the breakdown. So culture nowadays uses all these things, but no one never gives the chance for the person. Like he said, like, I may be a better person, but because I might do something similar to what you experienced in the past, now you're already cutting me off.
No, yeah, that sucks.
And then
it
you
does
wonder
suck.
why you...
I know it sucks. Like, I'm not like, forget these people, I don't care. I'd be feeling bad. Like, after, I'd be like, that was kind of not necessary. But.
So you could just lose a good person right in front of you.
I have.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can take accountability. I have.
Oh,
I be doing stuff. Sometimes I'm like, dude, you gotta chill.
Oh,
wow. That's awesome. Carrie, what's something that you feel like you
experience?
Well, you healed from, or something you said like you did in the past, and now you don't do anymore.
Okay, so for like, I know everybody's talking about the fathers, what they have. So my father was a little bit opposite. He was like a provider. That's all. He was a provider. He was want to make sure me and my sister and my mom was great. But far as for present, his present wasn't here because he was always traveling. He had multiple business. So when he do come, he only comes and give everybody money. Everybody has whatever they need, and then he flies out again. So I think those were the things that I kind of lacked of, was like absence. Is like, okay, like even though if I'm in a relationship, it's kind of still like similar to masculinity because I like to provide, give stuff to people, spending money, being like a people pleaser. And it took me a while. Like you said, everything is a work in progress. So throughout the years, when you notice that you've been doing a lot of things for people, and then you notice that you're not getting nothing back in return, and you see how people mistreating you from left to right, and then you be like, oh no, it's just a friend. Okay, I love him, or whatever the case might be. I think for me, by me going to therapy, and then I realize who I am, it's like if I could turn my life back around, there's a lot of things I would have kind of like, I'm not doing this, and that. But hey, it is what it is. Now I'm moving a new chapter. So no, I'm not being a people pleaser anymore. I mean, if people doesn't like me for who I am or what I'm capable of doing, hey, hoop to do. That's your life. I don't care because you do not write my check. You do not do anything for me. And the connection of trying to be close, that's the reason with my boys, I try to be more closer to my kids because it's not all about me giving you money and then just abandon. So I'm trying to spend more times with my boys and understanding, okay, even though I'm giving you stuff, but I'm here. You could talk to me. You don't have to be afraid to say anything. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm always going to stick to a positive mindset. So maybe that's the reason why God gave me 2 boys for me to understand, because they always said that when you have boys in your life, it's just because of a lack of love. And when you don't know how to get love, it's like my 2 boys are teaching me that. And by me not getting it, even though with other guys, to me, I feel like every guys I have encountered, they don't really show me love. They're all about give me and have sex. That's it. That's the only thing they see of me. But do I ever had a gentleman that come into my life and have a nice open relationship, talk about certain things, building business? No, I never had that. It's all about, so I never really had of a relationship that I could have a friend that I could just call him like, oh my gosh, baby, this, you know, it's like, it's always like, oh, you know what, we got to do this, we got to pay that, or, oh, you need to give me sex, or it's all about, oh, you're not having sex with me and this and that. It's like, oh my God, that's all you see me for, you know? So it's just like, but when you're outside with another woman and I'm out here looking at you, it's like you treat other people way better. And then it's just like, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Because if I'm providing and helping and I'm letting being you and I'm the one got to be in the box, it's just like, what am I getting out of that? So it's just like, so that's why sometimes you see some people outside be like, I'd rather just be single. Because if I'm just good just to only have sex and give you money, it's like, what else do I need you for in a relationship?
Right.
I could just live by myself. And if I need to go have me a quickie, I could just call you and come over and just, and then you can go about your business. I'm just giving an example. So it's just like, but I'm just saying, because if you're in a house with me and you can't even have a conversation with me, and then because you're closed in, to me, I feel like I always get guys who is not healed. I'm always getting guys who has issues with their mother, issues with their past. It's like I'm always have to come in and trying to lift you up and trying to make you become better. And then once you become better, then you're out the door. Then you go look for somebody else. So I think maybe my gift is to come and help you guys. And then once you guys get where you need to be at,
or maybe that's what you're attracted to.
You know what? And
but that's most women though. Y'all like that thrill. Y'all like that toxicity. Those highs from toxic men. I've been toxic too, so I get it. You know. You know.
I'm not like that anymore. I used to be like that. Yeah. I used to be very like, I have to fix this person. Like they have all these issues, and I know the answers, and I can help them. Like. But it wasn't even for them. It was like just my own satisfaction.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
And then those are the men that always disrespect you and treat you like crap.
Yeah. But I put myself, like I did that. Like, you know what I mean? I put myself in that situation.
You didn't put it,
and they take you for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw that you were going to be that. I knew that you were going to do that.
She did. So how, for both of you guys, like how is it managing relationships in the music business? Because that's a treacherous, I mean, Usher got people getting divorces and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, the way you think, you like, bro.
Nah, I can't lie. I haven't really had any issues yet.
Okay.
Yeah, ain't nothing serious yet. Every woman I've been dealing with, they kind of been understanding. I kind of let it be known beforehand.
Okay.
So that's what I kind of fall back on, and it's usually played out pretty good. At least to my knowledge. You know, I don't know how she really feels on the other side, but
you never got caught, so it's okay.
Right.
Oh my God. It's like you ain't got caught. I get the problem. Wow, that is so crazy. So for you gentlemen, because you know there's a lot of women who ask questions. You could chime me into that one. I'm just saying, but I'm not saying you, but some women, they be talking about this. Like, certain men's out there that will be in a relationship or get married or whatever the case might be, and they're not happy at home, and then they go look for somebody outside, and they feel more comfortable with that person versus the one that they're in the house with. Why is that? Like, if you can't leave the person at home, but you're happy with the side piece or whatever you want to consider that individual in your brain, how do you balance the two? Even if you tell that person, hey, listen, you know, I got a woman at home. Hey, our category is just this. You trying to tell me that if you interact with that woman a couple of times, you don't catch any feelings?
Oh, you certainly do.
Yeah.
It happened with me before, so yeah, same. Like, yeah, you certainly do.
There's no real repercussion if you're. If you're in a relationship with someone and you made a commitment and you have stipulations on your connection together, whatever, and then you have somebody that there's no stipulation. The stipulation is I'm in a relationship and you're outside of the relationship. There's no true consequence other than that person messing up the first relationship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But if that person, if you guys break up or whatever, it might suck. But at the same time,
Who are you talking about, the side piece? Or
the
you talking about
the side person. I mean, if you're outside of my relationship and I don't want to let this relationship go, and you're okay with what I came with, like I came with this relationship and I came with not being able to be with you, and you were already okay with that, there's no repercussion because I'm getting my cake and eating it too, and you're aware of it. This person's not aware of it. This person was left out the loop. And me and you were in
right. So cheating is fucking terrible.
I don't understand the question. Black men don't cheat.
Why are you right.
Yeah, black men don't cheat.
What we're not gonna do is live
is that
on
what
this
you was
podcast.
asking?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
How about cheating? Like how to manage cheating or how?
No, I didn't say how to manage. I said
why?
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a number of things, right?
Okay.
I mean, from my experience, I have a lot of female friends. I grew up around a lot of strong women. The women actually cheat more than the men, in my experience.
How we flip?
Yeah. I used to party a lot.
I just hide that shit.
Yeah, I used to party a lot.
How did it get flipped?
I used to be in the sections. I'm just saying. I'm not.
Bro skipped the question and said, you know what?
I'm not
Women
trying to
actually.
flip.
I should have had the bottom.
No, I'm not trying to flip. I think what it is the way the question was asked. It put all the responsibility of cheating on men.
Okay.
And I think it's more of a human thing.
So it's both parties.
Both parties, because there's emotional cheating and then there's just getting your quickie, like she mentioned earlier, right?
Do not cheat on me.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. No one wants to get cheated.
Thank you.
Right? Like cheating is horrible, but I think it depends on the level of commitment of your relationship. Because if you understand your partner, I'm not excusing the behavior, but sometimes you can have some type of empathy and understand, okay, I understand why this may have happened.
Okay.
And I think sometimes women take too much of the blame when the man is cheating. Because sometimes women sit there and say, oh, man, maybe I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. And sometimes it has nothing to do with you.
I think it's a projection thing because a lot of women look at it as if a woman cheats, it's like, oh, the man wasn't giving me what I needed.
Right.
So if he's cheating on me, then I didn't give him what. I don't think that way. If you cheated, you just decided to cheat. But
yes, it's very no, it's very true.
That's a selfish decision.
If I tell my boy like, yeah, my girl cheated on me, damn, what you wasn't doing, bruh? Like that's exactly, especially growing up, that was what it was. And it was very hard for me because when I was dating and I got cheated on, I was like, damn, I'm tripping. Like I need to step up. I was like, oh, I need to be more romantic. I need to like lay down more pipe. And it had nothing to even do with me.
Nothing to do with
it. It was something that was before me. It was something that she was dealing with that she never got over, and I just happened to be an innocent bystander.
In the crossfire.
Exactly.
You
I got shot
that.
up. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like an old black movie. You just you know, so it's one of those things, and there's times where there's situational cheating, like you get drunk at the club and hey, it is what it is, right? Those are the one-offs, and then there's the emotional affairs, which women are great at.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, ain't no sex happening, but that nigga know everything about her. That's her work husband. That's, you know what I mean? She on the way, wherever she going out, and she talking to him, and he get the emojis on the phone, he bae and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that to me, and I don't want to like,
bash out for anybody.
No. You know, cheating is cheating, but like that is another spectrum that I.
But don't men do that too? They have like a work girl that they talk to all the time.
It's easier for men to disconnect emotionally than it is for women. Like that's y'all strong suit. That's why I say y'all more emotionally selfish. I know it sounds negative, but it's also a positive. Like you guys understand y'all emotions more. We're just more. We want the feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, we can emotionally cheat. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, if we know this is gonna mess up what's at home, like what she said earlier, I'm cutting that, I'm gonna cut that chick off.
I used to think like that,
Mhm.
but now I kind of realize it's like we're all emotional.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And like we just, I think, like, cause that's what it starts with first. We just try to put logic behind it.
Yes, that's where we get in trouble.
Right. So,
That's true. And that's to the original when we started the conversation about being vulnerable and the miscommunication women and men have. Men logically explain emotion, and that's when we usually get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because the logic doesn't translate the same for you. I only see women most of the time. My experience, you guys use logic when your back is against the wall. When you have to get out of that abusive relationship, you have to pay a bill. When you use your masculine energy, that's when I see the logic comes out. But that's not natural for you guys. The same way you guys are being emotional and telling us everything, and we're like, whoa, you saying too much. Like, I don't even know how to handle all that.
Bro, I hate that. I just want to say like how I feel. Jeez.
Say it. And look, that's why you need to understand who you need to be with, because there are men out there that can handle that, right?
Agreed.
They have that high emotional intelligence to be like, okay, babe, I hear you. Like, all right, so what we gonna do? Like, and be able to make sure you stay soft, right?
Yeah.
But
Now these days, a lot of men they don't want to hear that.
I mean, yeah, because you want 6 figures and 6 feet, so you know what I mean? So I ain't got time for that. I got a backlog.
But sometimes guys are 6 feet or have 6 figures or whatever. It's like most men doesn't have that communication skills anymore. It's like everything is all about, fuck that, don't want to hear your shit, go talk to your homegirls. But it's so funny, but when y'all talk to your homeboys, it's like y'all give them all the attention. Y'all would sit here and talk about X, Y, and Z, but then when you come home to your girl, you act like you can't have that same conversation.
And fellas, do not do that. That's the fastest way you gonna lose your girl, bro. I'm telling you now, you got to.
Because it seems like
Just listen to them. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got AirPods now. Put one on the other side. Just zone out.
Yeah.
No, but women's like to be heard. They like they're talking to their homegirls. Like they look at their partner like, all right, let me call my man and tell him what's going on. Even though you don't want to hear the shit. But I mean, I get it.
But why don't you want to hear it? My thing.
Go ahead, tell us, Nadia. Be vulnerable.
I just feel like
your walls down.
It went up quick. She was like, okay.
I just feel like my consensus lately has just been friendship is so important. Like,
yes,
just being friends, at least like for a while.
Yeah.
For a while, because then you get to know each other, and you understand each other past just like I like you in a romantic way. It's just I know you as a person, and I like you in a romantic way, and we can hang out. Because when I want to call you and be like, dude, you'll never believe what just happened to me, I don't want to feel like you're zoning out on me. I want to feel like you care. And when you call me and do the same thing and be like, bro, guess what? I want to care about what you're talking about. I don't want to zone you out.
Right.
I don't want to be like, bro, here he goes with this crap again. Like, I mean, maybe if you say it like 10 times, you telling me the same story.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But if you're just calling me like, babe, guess what? No, I want to be interested in what you have going on. And I want you to be interested in me and the freaking random cat lady down the street that I'm like, bro, this freaking lady's so crazy.
Right.
And
yeah,
that's
don't tune me out. We're friends. We're locked in.
And that's what I've been projecting to certain, like when I be talking to guys, I be like, you guys never wanna, you guys don't look at us women as friends. You guys, it feels like you guys only look. I'm not saying some look at women just for figures. Like, okay, she dressed pretty, she looks sexy. Okay, that's the time we could talk. And it's not really talking because you're just trying to talk to get to point A to point B. So it's just like, all right, I'm gonna talk to her, I'm gonna listen to her. Yeah, I'm gonna go between that leg. Because if I keep bouncing my head, say, yeah, I know I'm gonna go between that, and I could just have sex with her or fuck, whatever you want to call it, and then you're done. And then you just move on with your life. And then to me, I feel like, I think I don't know why I encounter these type of men, but it seems like, I don't know what leads, it can't be masculinity. To me, I feel like that's not masculine.
Well, I mean,
like, I'm trying to figure where did I get these men that all they see me is like for
what?
Sex addict.
You on Tinder?
No, I'm not on Tinder.
Yeah. I mean, that's for you, I mean, that's between you and your therapist.
I know. I need to ask that therapist.
But to kind of answer like both of you guys' question, like she used the keyword term zoning out, right? And I know you can relate to this. We don't want to be in the friend zone.
Yeah, that's what I was about to tap on. I'm glad you brought that back up. That's the black hole right there.
There you go.
So I want to know, like, for you, it's possible to take someone out the friend zone?
I reach in the friend. I love the friend zone.
Yeah, oh my
That's so hard to believe.
That's abuse.
I'm like,
Right.
you're great.
What?
But don't you guys do us women as a friend zone?
Nah, we have, like, yeah, we have girls that are our friends, but we don't, very rarely will we like go over that line. I think a lot of women don't realize there's a line emotionally that's being crossed. So yeah, we want the same thing as you, but understand how we grew up as men. Girls talking to you, y'all getting emotional. Oh, babe, let me, you my homeboy. Let me tell you what's going on. It's an investment. Remember, men are we like reward, right? So that time that we're giving you is an investment. Listening to you every day after school at 3 o'clock, talking about what's going on.
Right.
We carry that into adulthood. And now I come and tell you, I'm vulnerable now and tell you, hey, I've been feeling you, I dig you, I want you to be my girl. Oh, no, we just friends.
Yeah, that would suck.
Hey.
Don't do that.
It happens like 97% of the
It
time. Thank you. Can you say it louder in the mic, please?
Well, being friend zoned and being a friend is different.
Oh,
if you're
wow.
like, if you shoot
Girl,
your shot, yeah.
You're talking like friends with benefits now.
No, if you shoot your shot and I'm like, wait, we're just friends, then I put you in a friend zone.
Right.
But if we're friends and then we're like, hey, I kind of like you, and we go from there, that's different. You were already my friend. We can be friends. You don't have girlfriends.
Well, where's
You mean like, I think she's trying to say
I just
like,
asked him, he going.
translate it so I can understand.
she's trying to say like to have like that best friend relationship until like a romantic relationship, like kind of like just be your best friend. Like she.
Where does that ever?
we're friends.
Look,
Yeah.
it's because they watch a lot of Love and Basketball, so they think like.
I don't watch Love and
Look.
Basketball. First of all, she got treated terrible.
You don't watch it. Exactly. So what I'm trying to say is, me as your best friend, I'm sitting there watching you, to Perry's point, pick the wrong person every single time.
Whoa.
Hey. I'm giving you the role of a best friend now. And so
Okay.
now we're at the point where now you're single, and now I'm like, all right, let me shoot my shot. And you might not even be healed. You might not even consider me as a. It doesn't work that way. Because in your mind, you like to overthink. And you're like, he likes me? Whoa, wait, we're just friends. You're my best friend. Like, well, then you're thinking about, well, if we get together and we break up, then we.
What's gonna happen?
Well,
Friendship,
being a best friend is different. If you're my best friend,
Now
if you cross that boundary, how are we gonna be best friends? And I know you.
But that's what you want. You want to marry your best friend.
No.
Right.
Because you know what? There's
We can
5% of
we
people
can
do
be
marry their best friends.
Yes, but I'm just saying.
Make
Like,
it make sense for me.
I know. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of people. Let's say like an acquaintance. Let's
Yes.
make it very very. What's the word? I don't even
Not
know the
too
word.
attached.
Just
That's
make it calm.
Yeah.
We're not like
No
locked in
strings.
best
Yeah.
friends.
Right.
But
We're
I'll hang
just
out with
friendship.
you. I'll call you, be like, hey, what are you doing? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as time goes by, you get to know me as a person. You've seen me around. You've seen me interacting with these people. You know what I'm into. I know what you're into. I kind of have a grasp of like who you are as a person.
Okay.
Past just looking at you and seeing you somewhere and be like, oh my god, he's so cute. I want to talk to him.
Mhm.
And now all of a sudden we're dating. Like, there needs to be some type of rapport, some type of like, I know who this guy is, at least some bit, like, but substantially. Just, I don't know. The only word to use is friendship. We have a friendship,
Right.
right?
But
But I don't have to be calling you every day like, oh, guess what? No, when you're my boyfriend, I want to call you and be like, dude, guess what? But we've already established a friendship before you becoming my boyfriend.
I
But sometime when you do establish that, when they become your boyfriend, they switch up too. They don't want to talk the way they used to talk when they were trying to become this.
You like space.
That's not my
It's not
friendship.
like you like space.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I like space.
Yeah, that's.
But I like being friends.
Right. There's
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You just
But
gotta
I-
find a person to understand that.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
there's no perfect road. I think, I don't want to like genderize, right? But women like to romanticize the process of dating, right? Where men, we are like, okay, we're not gonna do something unless we know for sure. So, a lot of times, especially as we get older, they're like, damn, why that nigga didn't marry you? Why he ain't married? He's not ready, and it's okay. doesn't mean you're a bad person. He's just not ready. Financially, physically, emotionally, he's just not ready. But a lot of women like to place that pressure on the man, and it's like, okay, but then when I am ready, when I do shoot my shot and I take that, and it comes at a time you wasn't expecting, I get shot down. As much as we deal with rejection, we don't like it. So you gotta understand, like, yeah, you might think, okay, we building friends, and I should have shot my shot 3 months ago before we got this close, but now we're like best friends, and now I feel more comfortable shooting my shot, but then you place me in a friend zone, and now we can't get nowhere. Then I see you pick the next bum.
I've placed people in a friend zone and dug them right back out of there.
Okay, what?
That's very rare.
That's very rare.
I've never
It's
heard
happened
that since
twice now, so I
Very
don't
rare.
know.
You might have to teach a class on that.
Yeah, for real. I've never heard.
Nah, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Because friends,
I don't know.
we
I
go
was
there to
like,
die
wait,
sometimes.
I didn't see that before.
I've never
You hear
heard
that, fellas? It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Never too late.
Pick the right one. And to your point about like we switch up now, yes, that does happen. We also feel that way too. As men, you were spontaneous, you were sexy, you were caring, and then all of a sudden you too busy. I ain't got time. Why you ain't do this? The garbage ain't you not. So now there's a disconnect. So as much as I may have switched up, you switched up as well. And that's the part where I was like, in relationships, we don't really take the time to take a step back and say, okay, what really, how did I change in this relationship? And then how did that boomerang or interact with that person? So that's usually what happened. I hear it on both sides. He was like, oh, he don't talk to me. He used to sweet talk to me. He used to write me love letters and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, but your skirt used to be a lot shorter back then too. All right? You now you wearing stockings. Like, I don't, you know.
Now you wearing stockings?
Yeah, I don't like stockings. You know what I'm saying? That's like granny stuff. You know what I mean? now you wearing your bonnet outside the house. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, these things have effect on us too, where we love to chase, but we want to make sure like what we're chasing is always attractive.
Well,
But
that's
where-
why I'm
but that's
starting
where the
off ugly.
communication-
I'm starting off cute.
Right, but like you said,
That's a crazy method.
that's a crazy method. Yeah, I hope
I'm like, if you love me for who I am, then I'll look pretty after
Right.
that.
Yeah, you'll work on your personality more, and you know.
And that's what I was saying. All the illusion. Most men like the illusion of a woman, especially right now with all these BBLs and makeups and you know.
Y'all like it more than us though.
I believe that
Oh,
100%
sorry.
because
I'm not
even,
trying.
you never heard a man say, "Damn, I need my girl to get that BBL."
I
know.
believe
No.
women are like
Because they feel like that's what attract the men's out there.
Y'all doing it for each other.
I agree.
I see who got the
Yeah, I
biggest
really
one.
don't even care.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you mine. No matter how flat or how big, you know,
Damn.
it's mine.
I've seen men with some questionable things, man. No shade, I'm just saying.
There's so many different ways. I don't know.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
You the host? How you be quiet?
The respectable thing, like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I do see some things, you know, most of you mans out there be
You know?
putting on. I'm like, damn. Wow. Whew. But it's crazy because it's good for us to bring up this relationship because there's a lot of us, we all get confused and a lot of different things, you know, stuff that you experience, he may not experience, you know, vice versa. Same thing with me and Nadia, and people out there might experience, you know, and sometimes we just stay in our little shell because sometimes we do get confused, like why I'm this way, why, and some, like, you know, us women, we always look at other women's in their life and we're like, darn, how she got it like that, you know, how she got this man and living the best life, like what do she do for her to grab this gentleman, just, you know, for him to put a ring on it or whatever the case might be. And sometimes the girl doesn't even have to do anything, you know, sometimes the girl say it's just my look or whatever perspective at that moment for that guy to come and approach them, and you'll be like, damn, I don't even have to do much, and I'm getting all these, you know, these onky dunk boys out there off the streets, and this is like, you know what, I'm done. So I think a lot of women out there, they're kind of confused, and you know, they want to have a happy life, and they want to know what can they do to find these right mans so they could enjoy life. Like, what are the red flags, you know, that they need to look out for?
I feel like women are the red flags.
Nadia need to sit on our side.
Right?
She all in her basket.
Sorry. I'm not a pick me, I promise.
So you said the women's are the red flags?
Yeah.
It depends on what part.
I mean,
Situation.
men, don't get me wrong. I got my beef, like, with men. Yeah. But I just feel like, lately, I've just been like, bro, everything in my life is up to me. Like,
Amen.
nothing is up to chance, and nothing is up to another person, especially, like, some guy. Like, I just meet a guy, and I'm expecting you to treat me all the, like, no, I'm just gonna accept what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not accepting what I don't want. I'm giving myself what I desire in my life. It's my life. I can't put it in somebody else's hands to treat me some magical way. That might not ever happen. It could never happen.
Mm-hmm.
My soulmate could have died like 5 years ago. How do I know? I don't know. And then I'm just hoping every time I meet a guy that he treats me some special way. And the moment I know that you're not going to, I stick around. I'll never do that again. I gotta go. It's my life. Like, whatever you do is up to you. You want to treat me like shit? That's you. I'm not gonna stick around for it. And then if I decide to go on to somebody else and they treat me better, perfect. That's what we're here for.
So
Yeah.
you're just courting.
No, I'm just here to live life, man. I've decentered men, and I just feel life is peaceful that way. You live your life. I don't feel like men center. I don't feel like men are centering women every day. There's like, when is a woman gonna treat me right? Like, they're just doing their thing. And when they meet a woman, they're like, cool, this is great. And if it's not, it's not.
Yeah, and that's something I talked with Perry about earlier. Is like, cause I used to make women like the center of my world,
Same.
but like now it's like I'm coming whole as a person. You need to come whole as a person, and we can be a part of each other, but not the center.
Right.
So funny how she just said that.
No,
Yeah.
that's the. I was gonna echo the same sentiments. I mean, I think a lot of women don't know how to make themselves happy, right? Like, as a man, as anybody, right? You teach someone how to love you. So, if you're not romanticizing yourself, how could you expect that man to romanticize you? He might be doing things that he thinks is romantic, and you don't even like it. But you don't even know what you like, right? So that's what she said, like, I'm gonna do what I need necessary for me to be happy. And like he said, someone's gonna add to that happiness, right? So that's what it really comes down to. I know it's tough. I wish more people had real conversations with each other.
That's the key.
Yeah, I wish more married. When I was married, I was the crazy married husband because I would like bring up these crazy topics, because other married people are like, no, we don't talk about sex, we don't talk about that, our sex life with other couples. It's like, no, we didn't talk. Like, she ain't sucking my dick. It's like, how you get her to suck? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we do that more, oh, that's what you do. Okay, now I understand that what I thought your life was perfect is actually similar to mine, and now we're both humans, right? A lot of times we romanticize other people's relationships. Oh, they must be really happy, and they live in this $1 million home, but they're crying every day. You know what I mean? Or their man is cheating on them, or this is think it's not really true. So, but it all goes back to self.
It all goes back. I used to be married, and a lot of people looked at me like, oh my God, your life is so perfect. Your life is so great.
Right.
Bro, I was like depressed. I was not happy. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And so I never look at somebody else and be like, how'd you get him to do this for you? Or how are you guys?
Right.
We gotta have a real conversation. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna romanticize somebody that I don't know.
Right.
And we're not having conversations, and you're not telling me, well, yeah, we're happy, but the other day, like, he did this, and then now we weren't talking for like 5 days. So whatever.
What's something that you realize you did in your marriage and you learned from that you won't do in your next relationship?
Well, I said it already. I won't put my happiness in someone else's hands. I didn't do it on purpose, but I still did it anyways. And when in hindsight, I realized that that's what I was doing, and I put pressure on him to make me happy. Like, he wasn't actively taking away from my happiness, but I just wanted him to make me more happy, or make me happy at all, period. And I wasn't happy. I was literally depressed. And I was like, bro, you have to, like, put a smile on my face, like, every day.
You see what we do with it? Damn, boy.
I didn't say it outright like that,
know.
but I was just
Right,
like, I need to do this. And he's, like, jumping through hoops to get me to be happy, to feel happy, and it was impossible. Like,
Wow.
there's nothing he could have done to
Wow.
make me feel happy. And I just had a lot of resentment towards him because I wasn't happy.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that's
deep.
a word. Gag it.
It's powerful.
Yeah. I mean, he cheated on me prior too.
Oh, great. You ended the. It
Yo,
was
you right.
great. It's like, it was fair. You had to get to get. See, you can't try. She get her lick back. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I just want to say this has been a great topic. I love this, and we should have a round 2 next time. So, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for coming out here and talking about relationships. We all had different views on different parties, and I appreciate that. So now I could have look back a little bit on certain things. And audience, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and check me out. Love yourself loudly. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.
Right.